Built in 1855 through 1857 by the Ohio and Mississippi Railway, the Tunnelton Tunnel was bored into the solid rock of Horner Hill in Bedford, Indiana. Extending 1,731 feet, the curve of the tunnel prevents light from the other side from being seen. The tunnel's inaugural run was held by O&M in 1856, before being officially launched on April 15th of 1857. Above the once longest tunnel in Indiana reads the inscription, "The Big Tunnel." This is 2 years after the tunnel's completion, the neighboring town of Tunnelton was formed. The town was originally a campsite/village for the workers of the tunnel, but after the years, the town became so synonymous with the tunnel that locals began referring to it as the Tunnelton Tunnel. While the tunnel itself remains mostly unchanged, the history that has occurred within its walls is extensive. In 1882, a gang of 4 robbers sat in a local saloon planning to kidnap Tunnelton's postmaster and general store owner, Alfred Guthrie. After a group of men overheard this plan, the 4 were ambushed and killed, with their bodies being disposed of next to the tunnel's tracks. Following in 1889, the tunnel underwent a structural upgrade. Since the tunnel was carved through solid rock, every time a train passed through, rocks were known to fall from the ceiling and onto the tracks. This became such an issue that watchmen would walk the tunnel after a train passed and remove all of the fallen rocks. Because of this issue, the tunnel was lined with bricks to prevent any further structural collapse. Over the years, the tunnel would be controlled by Chesapeake and Ohio Railway and Baltimore and Ohio Railroad. Currently, the tunnel is controlled by CSX Transportation and is still in use, though it only sees a few freight trains a week. But one cannot talk about the Tunnelton Tunnel without talking about its paranormal past.
Some say there are 3 ghosts in this tunnel. Some say just Dixon and a headless man with a lantern. The tunnel is a favorite place for area teenagers to go to.
After the gang of 4 robbers were murdered, rumors quickly spread that the tunnel was haunted. The tunnel's most prominent story details the death of night watchman Henry Dixon. 35-year-old Henry Dixon worked as one of the night patrols during the brick lining of the tunnel. At the time, guards had been hired to prevent theft of building materials and vandalism. Their nightly routine consisted of 2 guards, including Dixon, walking the tunnel with lanterns before meeting in the middle. During one of these patrols, Dixon prevented the assault of a young woman by 2 men who had dragged her to the tunnel. 2 days later, when Dixon failed to convene in the center of the tunnel, the other watchmen went out searching for him. Dixon was found 200 feet from the tunnel entrance with, quote, his skull crushed so badly part of his brain was exposed, unquote.
Now, everybody in the Fort Ridner-Tunnelton area seemed to know who did this foul deed, but they couldn't prove a thing. So he went scot-free.
After his death, rumors surfaced that Dixon would appear at midnight in the center of the tunnel, carrying his head and his lantern. To this day, it is still a popular legend. Dixon was not the only suspect for the hauntings. During the late 1880s to early 1900s, it was reported that a watchman was killed after not making it to one of the dead man's chambers. It was said that the man was sucked beneath the train and decapitated. Another story involves 2 watchmen during World War I patrolling the tunnels. When one of the watchmen didn't arrive in the middle, the guards searched and found him hanging from a metal spike in the top of the tunnel. In addition, death was commonplace during the construction of the tunnel. Not only did workers die, but it's also said a Native American burial ground was once above the tunnel. So, when construction began, numerous caskets and bodies fell through the ceiling, with a worker even being killed by one of these caskets. Other rumors range from ex-convicts from the South being murdered above the tunnel during the Civil War, to more murdered convicts buried in the tunnel. Because of the numerous deaths, the tunnel is considered haunted by many and attracts many paranormal investigators. This tunnel, deep in the woods of southern Indiana, managed to hide a deep and bloody history, littered with rumors of the paranormal and countless deaths. The Tunnelton Tunnel continues to operate with no evidence of stopping. Thank you for watching, and good night.